Hi! This week's art project is a little bit different from what we've been doing in our distance learning. So far, all of the projects have been the type of project where I show you what to draw and then you draw something very similar. And even though I've tried to leave a little bit of room for you to be creative and to add your own details, they all look generally the same. This week's project is going to be one where most people's projects hopefully will look very different from one another. We'll start with one technique that I'm going to show you in this video, and then your job this week is to be creative and to apply that technique in some way to your own original art project. You'll need some drawing paper and some pencils. I'm going to use color pencils, and if you don't have those, you can just use a regular drawing pencil. And you can turn your paper either way, depending on what you want to do. And you're going to start just by creating some long lines that create almost like strips. So this is one strip, two strips, three strips, and then I can probably do more across. As you begin, be sure that you use a light line because you're going to be erasing some of your lines. Once you have your strips, we're going to start to create the illusion of weaving just using value. So for example, you guys know from weaving in class that it creates a pattern that goes over, under, under. So let's say we want to make this strip go over, this one under, and this one over. So to make it appear to go over here, we'll erase that line. And to make it appear that it goes under, we'll erase this way, and then here, to make it appear it goes over, we'll erase that way. So then when you start to shade or use value, you're just going to add the darkest values right next to where the strip appears to go under. So when you start the second row, it would be the opposite. So here I created some value to make it seem as though it goes over and then under, and here over, or under and then over, and then here over, under. So anytime the strip goes under another strip, you're going to put value showing a shadow. And anytime a strip goes over another strip, you're going to leave it light to show that it's closer to the light source. So here you can see it's an illusion of weaving two-dimensionally. Now the creative challenge this week is to think about how you can turn that into an art project. I've seen it done where artists turn it into a scene that shows pipes in kind of an industrial scene where you could put little joints in the pipes, and you could even make other parts branch out, so that would go behind, and then maybe here it goes over. And each time there's a little turn in the pipe, then you could create a little joint. And do a lot of shading to make it kind of intertwined pipes. This one was with tree branches, and so I started to use kind of a nature theme. And notice that the same goals that we've had other weeks are goals that I had with this, where I was blending colors, I was using value changes to create some perspective, and I was making those value changes very evenly shaded. So keep those same goals that we've had, but try to apply them to this new idea, and then try to use your creativity to stretch your options for what you might want to draw. This was another example that I did where you can see I was making my lines very wavy, they were not straight, and then I decided I was going to turn them into tentacles. So you can see here how this tentacle crosses in front of the blue tentacle, and then I was going to fill the space with bubbles just to think about making a complete composition. In this one I used leaves for the same purpose, to make it a complete composition. So you want to think about using your space thoroughly and just try to think of a creative idea. And the most important part is to concentrate on your value in your blending, and to show this idea of weaving long strips in some way. So I look forward to see what you come up with, and I wish you luck, and you can email me if you have any problems. But I hope that this gives you a little bit more artistic freedom, and I know that's what you're used to in class, and it's been harder to figure out how to do that online. So think of this as kind of an experiment for me to see if you guys can stretch your minds a little bit and think creatively.